gotten done so far. So when we last left it, we were getting this monoblock bolted on, as well as our metering valve for our pump. We ran some hydraulic lines up to the boom fold. The biggest thing now is I'm waiting for these little adapters, or fittings if you will, to go from SAE to JIC. SAE number 8 to JIC number 8. So I'm getting 4 of those, and then 2 SAE number 8s to pipe thread. Pipe thread being for these, which are ultimately for the up down of the boom, the center. Those looked good as stated in the prior segment. So while I'm waiting for these parts to come in, I ordered them last night. It's pretty much, we're gonna turn our attention up to the cab and start getting it a little more homey, I guess. Comfortable, there's the word, comfortable, inside the cab. So it's a little more user-friendly for spraying, as this thing was designed for swathing hay. So, go around to that side. I think you may have seen a little surprise that I had up my sleeve. That's this. Found it on eBay. As you can see, it's a little bit damaged. It's actually out of a Rogator. What I like about it, it's all metal frame, so if I needed to I could modify it. But behind this cover there's actually, come over here so you can hear me, behind this cover there's actually a circuit board, and that circuit board is what these individual switches were soldered to. Now, what I like about this cover is also aluminum. I'm going to finish tearing this apart, breaking it, whatever you want to call it, to get all of these switches out, separate that circuit board. Circuit board's gone, and then just replace the switches that I need, 1, 2, and 3, with just toggle switches. Now you may be asking, well, why can't I just reuse that circuit board? Well, I tried to get continuity down here between any of the switches to no avail. So I don't know if there's some kind of relay up here that you have to power on first before you get power to any of these. I don't know. All I know is I want to keep this simple. So if we're gonna gut it, use standard toggle switches for our control. Let's take this up to the cab. Alright, so now we're in the cab. It does smell a little bit better in here. Bit better, I guess. So my plan is to mount it onto that. Now I'm hoping I can just, I'm probably going to have to tear that apart, much as I hate to do that. Probably gonna have to tear that guy apart. Probably be the easiest way to do it. Yeah, probably the easiest. Maybe just I don't know. I'd really like to Really like to have it so you could see what you were doing. Now keep in mind as you're going through the field, got my neutral switch on. It's probably where it's going to be. Come back, you know, because we can't make anything easy. Sure, it's in neutral. Biggest thing that I see that I don't like is the angle, because when you're at a resting point like that, you just can't see. Now, if it was like that, I think you could though. So, at the end of the day, we're going to need to basically modify this down here so it can go on there like that. Oh yeah, that looks simple. Oh my goodness, the things I get myself into. But you also don't want to hit also don't want to do is when it's all the way back. Actually, that ain't bad. So, I kind of like that angle. You can tell that. Oh yeah, I do like that angle. So what I'm seeing, you gotta tear this apart. Definitely have some shadows over here at the workbench, but I'm gonna try to take you along for the ride. Got that E-clip off of there. Now I think what I'm gonna do is cut this. Like I said, there's something going on up here. The way it's busted, it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and start slicing into this thing. So let's put these back. Tough cable. this, I'm thinking I'm gonna save, because this, believe it or not, is the same dimension as the handle that's up in the cab. And what I'm thinking of doing is redesigning this in some way that we can get that angle that I was talking about. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. But now I have a little bit more freedom to maneuver, so let's finish tearing this apart, because I put that away too soon. It's just a matter of, like I said, coming up with something to where that's how it was originally. But we want it to be like that. May just have to sit on there like that. I'm not sure. What, let's go up in the cab, tear apart the lever, and just see how this fits on there now that we have the wire out from it and it's just all by itself. Okay, now we're in the cab. I'll try tearing this apart. I'm sure it'll just come apart. Woo. Probably gonna need a vice grip. Definitely gonna need a vice grip. Oh boy. That's what I'm thinking, just dropping it on there. That so it can slide down. Got my Milwaukee jaws here. See if we can't bust this thing. That is on there. That is on there. There we go. Wonder how many. Up there. Must be some kind of lock nut or something in there. Whew. I absolutely love these Milwaukee vice grips. Not a paid endorsement whatsoever, but definitely worth it. Oh yeah, fits right on there. Alrighty guys, I did some playing around and I think I have this figured out. Good news is I don't really have to re-engineer much. So, here's how it's gonna look, to the best of my ability anyway, the best of my knowledge. Now, there's only one problem I see, and that's our little tower that we were gonna put there in that corner. I might end up putting that over here, just to keep things out of the way. But let's see what we got. Now, in case you're wondering how I did this, it still slipped on over this, but to get this angle, I found that this has two little keyways in there, and that allows the whole head to pivot and ultimately come off to the point where you can see right there's just the wire in there. So we'll ultimately tear that apart, get in there, tear all this apart, and just totally rip this to shreds. This, I'm just going to run a single weld bead right along here, and that'll take care of that. And then this will just get bolted right onto that. Nice and simple. So, and then the pivot will be the last thing that we figure out. But there's at least plenty of clearance for that. And over here, you can see kind of what I'm envisioning for this tower. And see how I have a piece of square inside of another piece of square, and this is slightly larger than the piece that's going to house our gauges, ultimately our rate controller, and possibly a radio up there. What I'm going to do is move that as close to that window as possible, and probably punch a couple more holes in the bottom of this thing. I'm going to utilize these two holes that are here. Let's go ahead. So all this talk of gauges, probably wondering how we're actually going to mount them in our top piece. Well, I'm going to use this little guy. Found this off of, I think it was Amazon or eBay. It's already got the holes punched out in it. Nice looking piece of stainless. And I'm going to go ahead and mount that on here. And to do this, I'm going to need to basically mill out a good center portion. Of this piece of steel. So right there, you're looking at it. When that piece is mounted up on there, that'll give us plenty of room, it looks like. You may want to move it a little bit towards front, not too much, but right about there. And then we'll just have at. So now we'll just slowly begin machining this out. We're just watching those chips coming off, making sure we don't see any blue. We don't want to go too fast. So now for the moment of truth. As you can see, I already did that off camera, but this will slide on like so, and that's what will ultimately hold our gauges. So now what we need to do is drill out, see, what do we got? 7 holes down the side of this piece of steel, and that way we can screw that to our square tubing.
far so good. Woo! As I say that, this one starts giving me fits. Should have kept my mouth shut. Once you get these started, it's not too bad. It's just the first couple of threads going through there. You constantly have to be weary of twisting these off. Still not bad. Not bad at all. there it is. Okay, we are back at it today. In that last video, we got a lot of the boring stuff out of the way. We got a lot of the milling of parts out of the way. And now it's time to start welding again. We're going to start work on that side column until the rest of our hydraulic parts come. That's what we're going to do first here. It's pretty straightforward, just welding plate steel to some tubing and then more tubing, and just starting to assemble this thing. So let's get started.